Are you feeling a little stressed today? What if I was to tell you that, in my opinion, not all stress is bad, that it actually can be a good thing? And I want to share with you some thoughts about how that is the case. It isn't something that you may have thought of, and you may be thinking, you know, I've had enough stress in my life. I want to have retirement be the time when things calm down a little bit. Well, I've got another way of looking at it for you. My name is Margaret Manning. I'm with 60andMe, and I want to thank you so much for being here today. I really do appreciate your company. If you love these videos that we do, please consider subscribing to our channel and also ring that little notification bell that will let you know when any new videos are released. It's really wonderful to have you here. Thank you. Okay, so our show today is brought to you by See Me Beauty. Now, See Me Beauty products are for women who are tired of unrealistic expectations and promises about skincare products. These products are made from natural ingredients, and they really do understand the aging skin process. The ingredients are just amazing, and they're linked to science, so we know how they respond to changes that your face goes through as you get a little older. So check out the See Me Beauty website, seemebeauty.com, and look for their conversations about hydrated, healthy, and radiant skin. I really do think that healthy skin is the most beautiful skin. So check out See Me Beauty. So let's talk today about stress. Stress is a really funny thing. Most of us want to reduce it, right? We've been through lots of things in our lives. We've raised children, maybe. We've had performance reviews at work. We've had careers that have been stressful and under a lot of pressure. And it's really been hard for us to, now say, okay, retirement, I'm going to completely cut out all that, as many stress elements as possible. We're ready to relax. Take it easy, just not have anything coming into our lives that's going to cause unhappiness and despair. But, is it good to live in a completely stress-free environment in retirement? I'm going to put forward the case that there's a definite positive to allowing yourself a certain kind of stress. Now, there is stress that you want to avoid, of course, but then there is kind of stress where you push yourself a bit. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what that looks like, and give you maybe some inspiration for finding a balance in the kinds of stress that you're experiencing in your life. I know it's been a tough few months, and stress has been overwhelming. So maybe this is not the thing that you're thinking about, but trust me, it's going to be okay. And by the way, if you enjoy these videos that we do, please consider subscribing to our channel. You can subscribe on the button below, and also there's a little bell, a notification bell that you can press, and that will then tell you when any new videos are released. I really would appreciate your support. Okay, so let's talk about stress. Stress is, the kinds of things that you don't want to do, of course, are those where, you're, dealing with a stressful reality like the virus, for example, or the loss of someone in your life that's really important to you, or losing a job, or, just having something happen to you with a medical issue that, that leaves you feeling out of control and just not so good. So, those kinds of stress factors are understandable, and you can't deny them. Getting a divorce is one thing, of course. That's not, that's going to be stressful. Seeing your children or your grandchildren suffering in some way, those are stresses that you really, have to deal with in a real way. And those I understand. If you're having legal problems or some kind of a conflict in the real world, that's going to create a stress that you want to try to minimize. And you can minimize those kinds of stress through identifying them as stressors, and then doing things like meditation, or just working it through, talking to someone about it, breaking down the problem into small parts and really trying to do one step at a time. I think the greatest help for me when I have felt really stressed has been just simply to take each day as it comes. And I know that's a ridiculously, what's the word, not schmaltzy, but trite thing to say when you're in the chaos of a situation that's really, really painful. But, this desire to reduce that stress is not just emotional or psychological, it is physical. It can definitely hurt you. So those kinds of stresses, I understand. But I want to tell you a story that may not seem related, but it'll lead into the conversation about stresses that you want to encourage in a way. And that is a story about piranhas. Have you heard this story before? It's a really good one. It's a story that basically starts off with a man who has, or woman who has, a fish tank full of beautiful goldfish, all kinds of tropical fish and goldfish, and they're lovely. But he notices that they're suddenly starting to not move around too much, and they're looking really kind of, less lackluster and blah. And as much as you can understand what a goldfish looks like when they're unhappy, they look kind of depressed. So she goes to the store, to the pet store, and says, my fish are just like they're not feeling very happy. I can tell. And they look really, poorly. And so the shop owner says, well, have you ever tried putting a piranha in the tank? And the woman says, a piranha? Those fish that that eat everything, and they can devour a whole cow in 2 seconds, and those little sharp toothed fish? He goes, yeah, just put one in the fish tank. And so, okay, well, I'll have a go. So she puts it in the fish, this little piranha in the fish tank, not a big one, a small one. But suddenly the fish start perking up. They start swimming around quickly, of course, to avoid the contact with the piranha. And their little skin, their scales start to shine again, and they're healthy again. And of course, maybe 1 or 2 were lost in the journey, but then she took out the piranha and they were back to normal. And it was giving them something that made them feel a little bit under threat, a little bit stressed. And it was like, whoa, this is now I've got to sort of pull my resources together, get healthy, get strong, get well. And I think that can so be applied to our reality that we face in our world. We sometimes, we try to reduce all the stress, and then in doing that, we kind of lose the connection to ourselves. We become a little numb. And I'll share a story with you, because this is kind of a personal one that I had something happen, like we all did during the coronavirus pandemic, and it's still there. I mean, it's not gone away, but something happened that made me really sad, and I wanted to cry. And I felt like it was a situation that warranted tears. Like it was like the kind of thing I would cry about. And I don't cry that easily, but I cried. I tried to cry, and I couldn't cry. I just couldn't cry. I sat there and I felt just completely tense and protected, and I wasn't going to let my emotions, even my breath, my shortness of breath, I just didn't want to let my emotion go into that situation. And I realized then that the stress was protecting me from, allowing me to deal with things, but at the same time, it was taking away my emotion. And so I don't know whether that happened to any of you during this situation, but it really, really did bother me that I couldn't cry. So you find a balance. But examples of positive stressors, like stress that is positive, are going back to school, taking a class online, taking an Udemy class or Coursera, doing something that you learn something new, trying something new for the first time. For me, it was cooking. I'm a terrible cook, but over the last months, I've learned how to cook. Finding a new hobby, something that you've never done before. Some people take up painting or drawing or stitching or embroidery. Take up a new hobby. Meet new people. Okay, now we can't get out. We know we can't go out into the world, but we can meet people online. We can join 60andMe, for example. You can join the conversations on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel. You can join our Patreon community, which is a more private group. So, you can meet new people that way. And you can meet lots of people. There's tons of groups on Facebook and other places. You just type in, how to meet people online who are interested in knitting, and you'll find tons of things. So putting a financial plan in place, that could be a stress. It's a stress for some people, for sure, and including me. I mean, putting a plan into place is stressful, but it's a good stress. It's a stress where you're doing something positive for your life. Moving to a new place. I'm actually moving into a new place shortly, back into a small place again. And I'm excited. I'm actually very excited, but I'm a little stressed, packing up, downsizing again for the 50th time this year. And just moving into a new place. That can be a positive stressor. Go back to the gym. That's another one. That can be super stressful. And I think the whole thing here is about where you're going to invest your time and your energy in something that is potentially stressful, potentially going to take you to a fearful place or somewhere where you feel a little bit out of control, but at the same time, take you forward, take you into a part of your life that you've never done before. Try new things. And I think that that's the positive stressors. This article, by the way, is online. I'll leave the link for you. You can look at it in more detail because there are some other suggestions. I'm just giving you an overview of it. But stress is, can be healthy if it's directed in the right way. Of course, it can be, unhealthy if you're lingering on things that are really painful and difficult to deal with. But the positive side of stress, I think there's room for it. I really do. Do you agree? I mean, do you think there's such a thing as good stress? Leave your comments below. Let's have a conversation. I would really like to know anything that has been revealed to you over the last few months, things that you may have discovered about yourself that where a little bit of stress has been a good thing. It's led you somewhere new. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much again for being here. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you love these videos, and ring the bell, ring the notification bell. I really appreciate it. Just strengthen our community. But be good, take care, have a wonderful day wherever you are, and we'll talk again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.